Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. And first and foremost, flight morning, everybody. Flight morning. Flight and bake, flight and bake. Wake and flight, wake and flight. Don't know which one to say. We gonna get into this motherfucking energy. You're now listening to the Mind Eminent Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And we're gonna talk about what influences to get prepared for today. Now, for the most part, like I said, the sun is in Aquarius, so we're still dealing with overall communications, broad communications. But the moon is in Libra, so we're dealing with a whole bunch of air being thrown around all over the place. Now, when you hear things about air, you need to know that this is always core. Even the physical representation, when you go outside and feel the wave of air, you need to understand that is a physical, external yang representation of the thought, the intellect, the rationalizing, the ability to tap into the left brain hemisphere and to create shapes and forms out of the right brain hemisphere. The right brain hemisphere is like the 360, the roundness. Once you have an imagination, a dream, a feeling, a vibration, boom, you put that up into the left hemisphere. You take it from the right, the lower chakras and the right hemisphere bodies, and then you put them up into the left hemisphere. Therefore, you can externally present what's going on internally now by utilizing your left hemisphere, which is your external brain waves, your external alpha waves, your external brains, your external stars, your external conscious chakra waves. So for the most part, these are your ability to externally push out what's going on internally based upon your internal right brains. So for the most part, when we talk about anytime you utilize and you hear air, this is thinking about rationalizing and utilizing the intellect and being able to create a chakra or direction or shape and form or square or a 90-degree angle or an alignment out of a 360, out of no shape, out of no form. So you see what I'm saying? That's how you take from the right brain to the left brain to the left brain. Not like that. You know what I'm saying? This is where y'all get confused at for the most part, because y'all have been led by a being that taught y'all how to stand up right. But for the most part, that's another video. Now, when we talk about today's moon being in Libra, there's a lot of, and then Mercury is also in Aquarius, so keep that in mind. Mercury is also in Aquarius now, so we're dealing with a circumstance where a lot of air is being thrown amongst and a lot of favorable air. So right now, when we got the moon being in Libra, call this modification of today relatable communications. You see what I'm saying? Now, relatable communications. Now, like I said, it can always go in two ways, and it's always got that three factor. You got what's actually going on, and you got the polar shifts of what can actually happen from what's actually going on. So for the most part, we got the moon being in Libra. So that's everybody is forced to react and respond to relating in some type of way, either relating their own way of communicating or trying to understand someone else's way of communicating. So when we're dealing with Libra, this is cardinal air, initiating and creating new ways of thinking and communicating. So for the most part, let me turn this chair off. So for the most part, when we're talking about what we're reacting and responding to, we could be on two sides of this wave, right? You could have a sun, moon, or ascendant and another cardinal sign, which will be Aries, cardinal, or Cancer, where it may be a little harder for you to react to relatable energies than others. You see what I'm saying? So you may have to pay attention to Libras, and then Libras may go overboard because too much power. What comes great power comes great responsibility. So if you got the moon in your energy, which is Libra, then you got access to what we're supposed to do. But then you could go overboard to the point that it could become distasteful, look like you're doing too much. So we got to keep all these things in mind. All the square signs are at war right now, and the other signs can sit back and eat popcorn. You know what I'm saying? Not so much the fixed signs, but a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because the moon carries more influence because the vibe and the tides and the emotions and the waters and things of that nature. So it may be something that we gravitate and react to first before we start to act and play out the sun characteristics. So by the sun being in Aquarius and the moon being in Libra, this is called relatable communications, because Aquarius, communications, Libra, relatability. You know what I'm saying? So that's both dealing with intellect and rationalizing and air, but just in two different ways. You know, Aquarius got their own fixated way of thinking and communicating, and Libras like to initiate and create new ways of thinking and communicating. So a Libra off the back by default may be a lot more relatable than an Aquarius, but by default an Aquarius may be a lot more logical and rational and a lot more discerning and not so open and relatable than a Libra. But both of them understand each other along with the Geminis, but we're not talking about Gemini right now. We're talking about the influences that's actually going on. So Geminis, y'all actually feel the energy is in y'all favor also, just in a different way. So when y'all go to mutable, that's when y'all get spanked on the ass and have to sit back down. But that's another video. Now, for the most part, Here's what's actually going on. Everybody is trying to relate to what they are associated with, aka associations, 11th house energy, Uranus energy, and changing and rebelling and opposing against that, or seeing the uniqueness and originality out of what you are associated with, or your associations, or your groupings, or your friends. You see what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form. And also being observant and communicating with the location that you are in, aka being in a public dealing with public affairs, or being in a, or how to conduct yourself in a public arena in some way, shape, or form. So this is all Aquarian energy. So for the most part, we're trying to relate to that. We're forced to relate and respond and react to that right now because the moon is in Libra. So the moon is making us react and respond to that in a relatable way. So here's where things could go good, and here's where things could go bad. Things could go bad today when you find yourself trying to relate too much and trying to initiate and create a new way of how to think, and you're not relating to anyone else. You're just too busy trying to relate what you think to your associates. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't give the ability for your associates to actually put in their 2 cents, or allow them to react the way that they truly want to react, then things could go haywire. So both of y'all be going against the wave. You see what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form. Now here's how you could go with the wave, because more percent of the day should be more favorable than negative, because we're dealing with a trine energy. So trine energy always puts a gift, but we're going to break that down also. Now here's where things could run over smoothly, right? When you're reacting and responding to your ability to think and see something else from someone else's point of view, but your ability to communicate what you are associating with in a relatable way. Your ability to relate what you think to what you are associated with, or your associations, in a relatable or harmonious way, where things could be even, and it don't seem like one party is getting more the short end of the stick, and justice is being served. And I'm not talking about police or whatever like that. I'm talking about things being a balance. Now anytime there's an imbalance at this moment, that's going to be seen way faster than any other day when the moon was somewhere else. Anytime we see somebody getting the short end of the stick, we're going to see it, and everybody going to feel this energy to react and respond into creating some type of justice for the person who is getting the short end of the stick, whether it's dealing with intellectual wise, whether it's dealing with emotional wise, or whether it's dealing with physically. But for the most part, the moment someone is getting the short end of the stick, everybody is going to be forced to react and respond to paying attention to that, because of where the moon is at right now. And everybody is going to be forced to communicate or initiate and create a whole new way of thinking and communicating about that situation. And whatever that situation is associated with, that's what's going to be analyzed, and that's what everybody is going to be trying to create balance out of when the balance is not being shown. You see what I'm saying? Now, on the flip side, right, now you could be looking at this as a form of trying to relate and see something from someone else's point of view, and you should be trying to create balance in yourself, within the circumstance in yourself. And when you're not doing that, when you're not trying to see something from say you're having a conversation with somebody right now, right, and they could be saying the most off the wall shit that you never heard. But say you're not even in the space of agreeing to disagree. Like, you're just too busy trying to wash down what you think and try to forcefully initiate and create a new way for them to think and communicate. Then that's when you're going to be on the opposite side of energy. Regardless of how right you are, you're still supposed to show some form of energy, of the energy that we're in right now, which is at least agreeing to disagree, even if they're saying nothing that you truly don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not working on the right side of energy, so you're going to manifest a circumstance that's not right for you. So that's the seeds that you're planting. So when the moon move into motherfucking Scorpio, you're not going to manifest the fruits and labors to sustain yourself through that astral travel, and you're going to keep repeating dud seeds. You're not going to be on top of your game. You're going to be under the game all the way. You see what I'm saying? Always playing catch up for the next transit, instead of you riding the wave and always being prepared. Therefore, when the moon go into another sign, you getting all the fruits and labor because you did right when the moon was in the previous sign. So you're able to sustain yourself and actually be free and open enough to be consciously aware of what's in front of you to receive what's going on when the moon is in the sign that it's in now. And then you keep riding the wave, but you get washed up by the wave when you go against the wave, right? When you go against the wave, aka right now, if you choose to forcefully not see something from someone else's point of view, but you're still forced to receive and react to the Libra energy, which is initiating and creating new ways of how to think and communicate. And then you might be an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant. So I'm an Aries sun, so right now my actions may not participate in that, so I gotta force myself, because it's opposite. Because anytime I force too much into my actions, I'm going to manifest an opposition or an ops or something, or I'm going to be looked at like I'm wrong in some way, shape, or form, or whatever I'm doing. So since I know that, I have to learn how to relate. I have to learn how to sit back, take a breather, and agree to disagree. And that's the farthest I could go, because I'm an Aries, agreeing to disagree. But any other sign, an air sign or water sign or something like that, not Cancers or not Capricorns, but the other ones, y'all can kind of, the fixed and immutable ones, y'all can kind of sit back and relax and do that by default. You know what I'm saying? Without feeling vulnerable, or without feeling uncomfortable, or without feeling like you're doing something that's out of your nature. And then when you do that, you think you're doing the right thing by participating in your own ego, but not knowing that you're just about to get washed up by the wave because you're not aligning yourself right. So for the most part, you know, the moon is in Libra, so we need to react and respond to initiating and creating new ways of how to think and communicate. But as a Capricorn, Cancer, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, the way you might do that is overbearing right now. You might do that in a way of not seeing it from another person's point of view. So you're too busy trying to initiate and create your way of doing it, aka if it's an Aries, ways of seeing and feeling about things, aka if it's a Cancer, ways of dealing with the emotions and feeling about things. If it's a Capricorn, is dealing with ways of thinking and being practical. So for the most part, you're not going to be trying to see something from other people's point of view. So it's going to be, you're going to be acting in a Libra nature by default, but with your own energy. So you're going to be going against the wave, and once you go against the wave, right, you're too busy trying to change someone else's way of communicating and thinking based upon you thinking you got the right way and thinking your way is balance and thinking your way is justice, but you're going against the wave, so you're planting a bad seed. So when the moon go into Scorpio, the seeds that get brought into fruition that was supposed to sustain yourself so you could be comfortable enough to be aware of everything, when the moon go into Scorpio, it's not gonna be that way. You're gonna experience the bad dud seed that's grown. So you're gonna have to go against what you manifest. You're gonna manifest circumstances and situations that you got to deal with, that you have manifested from what you plant the seed, and when the moon is in Libra, and things have to grow. So when the moon go into Scorpio, you're going to see it grow, and it's not going to be something you can be clear on. It's going to be something you have to handle. Therefore, you can't even see things clearly when the moon being in Scorpio for you to plant good seeds then. Y'all get what I'm saying? So you stand up under the wave. You're not riding the wave. You stand up under the tides. You get washed away. Always playing catch up. So for the most part, when these deep transformative circumstances manifest by the moon being in Scorpio, these situations that get manifest is the seeds that grow from you planting bad seeds by the moon being in Libra right now. So when the moon going to Scorpio, you may fuck up a relationship or a friendship or a siblingship based upon the seeds you was planting by the moon right now. So I'm trying to get y'all to understand how, so we can get things going on a day-to-day thing. So right now, the theme is relatable communications. Everybody is trying to relate, initiate, and create new ways of how to think and communicate about the things that they are associated with and associations. So for the most part, it can become negative to the point that you're too busy trying to recreate the way you think and the way you communicate, aka you want to recreate the people around you the way they think and communicate, so that now you're going against the wave. Or you could go with the wave, aka agree to disagree on the highest level, or you just basically create balance and you can see something from someone else's point of view right now, and you can create a relatable or a harmonious dialogue or interaction with your associations and the things that you are associated with. And it will be broadcast in some way, shape, or form, whether you're dealing with a business, whether you're dealing with social media, whether you're you know what I'm saying, and whatever you're trying to whether you're dealing with creativity, and all y'all is in creative cahoots with each other right now. Y'all are trying to relate each other in some type of way and initiate new ways and ideas and concepts on how to create balance within what y'all all associated with. But you know you're going to have a bad seed or a bad apple in y'all bunch the moment someone is not being agreeable, aka not being relatable, yet still being washed up by the energies, forced to react and respond to initiating, creating new ways of thinking and communicating. So these are how you're going to spot out the bad seeds right now. People who are still washed up by the energies because they're still initiating, creating new ways of how to think and communicate, but they're not doing it in a way of being relatable or creating balance, aka they might try to be perceived as the one who look like they got all the balance or they got all the justice. And that's where you know that's a bad apple. That's where you know that's a person that's going against the wave right now and don't participate in that frequency vibration along with them. You see what I'm saying? And add on to their idea, because you're just going to be adding bad seeds for you also when the moon go into Scorpio. So what's real is real. You can't hide that. What's real is real. The stars don't motherfucking lie. So be aware today or Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Today's Saturday. Make sure that your energy, make sure you're on the right side of energy, regardless of the people that you are around. Make sure, even if somebody just nagging the fuck out of you, now it's not even the time to get super aggressive. We're dealing with Venus energy, you know what I'm saying, right here. And then with Aquarius, Mercury being in Aquarius right now it's time for you to actually think and rationalize and use your intellect. Now ain't the time to kind of like spew your emotions and your feelings and just be doing things based upon the vibe and the emotions right now. Now it's time to be doing things based upon rationality, based upon logic, based upon what you're based upon, you know what I'm saying, the masculine energy that everybody have within themselves. So that's what you need to understand. And anytime you're not correlating in that energy, the only thing you're going to do is manifest you being put in a bad light. A negative energy putting towards you. And what you need to understand is all of us, we're manifesting our positive and negative circumstances. So don't be placing the blame on anybody. If you're getting any kind of negative response or energy towards you, it's because something that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Based upon the amount of it, the percentage of it, that lets you know how much energy you've been putting into that specific state of being to get that much out of it. You get out what you put in. So keep that in mind. Don't just be going praising God and everything when something good happened, but when something bad happened, it's the fucking devil or it's the people around you. No, motherfucker, it's all the goddamn same shit. Your state of being and your spiritual space. So, motherfucker, you need to get that shit right, and because you allowed those demons and angels in, whatever, directing your motherfucking life in some way, shape, or form. So get that in fucking clear. You see what I'm saying? So, anytime you're not participating in logic or rationality as far as your actions and what you're going to do at this moment right now, you will manifest a circumstance and situation that's not in your favor, and you will get placed on front street. So you need to have in mind what you actually trying to do or what you're actually doing, and don't be all gullible and naive and things of that nature during this moment, because we're dealing with masculine energy. You got the motherfucking sun in Aquarius. You got the motherfucking moon in Libra. You got the motherfucking Mercury in Aquarius. God damn it, that's not dealing with emotions. Feeling. So motherfucker, pick up your goddamn emotions and pack them up and leave those motherfuckers at home. You know what I'm saying? And when you bring your ass in the world, you make sure you, even if you don't know what the fuck you look like you know what the fuck is going on. You better act like you know what the fuck is going on. AKA, you better come up with some type of y'all air signs know what the fuck going on. Y'all know how to come up with some type of mentality box that you could jump in to make people think they perceive you in a certain way. And y'all know when y'all go home, y'all know y'all ain't that way, but y'all fucking creative with the mind. Y'all know how to create intimidations and shit. Like y'all I ain't gotta tell y'all air signs what to do. I be needing help how to do that shit. I don't know how to do nothing else but be me. So if it's something I don't want to do, sometimes I just show it and something like that. But motherfucker, y'all know how to create boxes and shit like that to make people think what y'all want them to think. You know what I'm saying? So, motherfucker, y'all need to be doing that right now. Everybody need to be doing that. So, if you got a lot of water in your chart, a lot of debilitated planets or something like that, you might need to be around another air sign so you can know what to pay attention to, what to do and what not to do at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, that's what's going on Saturday. And we're going to go live tonight and talk about the energies because, you know, the moon going in Scorpio. The moon going to be falling. So, you know, we definitely got to break that down. We definitely, because it's actually it's jumping into the square energy. So later on tonight and things of that nature, about 20 hours or so, we're gonna get the yeah, in about 20 hours, we're going to get the moon going into Scorpio and shit like that. So, you know, get prepared. And once you know that, you know what I'm saying, you know that it's squaring the sun. So, you know, things going to be modified. Things going to be super modified. Then the moon is debilitated. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind also. The moon is going to be goddamn debilitated. And then we're going to see how all these, how all this shit get manifested in your goddamn life. And actually what house also this is taking place in. So, yeah, we're going to go live. We're going to get lit tonight. So, you know what I'm saying? Finna get myself together for the day and shit. And Flight Boss, bitch, I love y'all and shit. Air, Flight Morning.